Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Mandy, and here on this show, every week we interview some awesome people from around the country to bring you lifestyle tips, tricks, and more. And this week we have this.
Their parents have their children on their shoulders, and they're up there going like, yeah, shout, shout. And you're like, dude, you're like 9 years old. How is this happening?
Well, full disclosure, I'm from Dallas, Texas, so my family are big Cowboys fans. And I have to say, the heart and the community of Buffalo and Bills fandom will suck you right in.
All that and more on New Mexico Rising. Let's talk music, because I am so excited about our next guest. You know those bands that didn't just soundtrack a moment, but they shaped whole entire chapters of your life? Well, for me in high school, this band was a major part of those formative years. And to this day, when I hear a certain Dr. Feelgood, it still gives me all the feel-goods. Mötley Crüe is celebrating 45 years and bringing back their legendary Carnival of Sins tour for 2026. Today we have drummer Tommy Lee with us to talk about the band's wild ride and what fans can expect this time around. Tommy, welcome. So thrilled to have you.
Hello, good morning.
So, Tommy, this tour, it marks 45 years of Mötley Crüe and the return of Carnival of Sins. Why did this feel like the right moment to bring this tour back?
Well, because it was insane when it happened, and there's so many new fans, and that never really got a chance to see it. And I was just telling somebody else this, and, you know, our music has transcended, generations, and there will be so many people that are coming to see this for the first time. So, you know, let's bring it back and let's show them what they missed.
That sounds good to me. And speaking of, spanning generations, your fan base, me included, why do you think that connection is so strong after all these years?
You know, I don't know. I really don't. There's some magic there. There's, I was telling somebody else, there's nothing cooler than that. Like, I think after the movie The Dirt came out, I got so many emails from people going like, "Oh my God, is that what it was? Is that really what it was like?" And I think there's a bunch of stuff out there, during our career and our lives that just don't happen anymore, and they never will. So I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this, but there's nothing cooler. There's not a better feeling for an artist to look out in the crowd and see, their parents have their children on their shoulders, and they're up there going like, yeah, shout, shout, and you're like, dude, you're like 9 years old. How is this happening? You know, it literally is the best feeling ever to know that your music has transcended, and these new people are coming in and they're seeing it for the first time, and it's mind blowing.
I love that. So fans still talk about the original Carnival of Sins tour. Are there any parts of that huge over-the-top production that are coming back, or what's brand new for this tour this next year?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're deep in pre-production now. This one's going to take a lot of time because, as usual. Every time we go out, it's a spectacle, and people expect us to bring something that they've never seen before. So we have a heavy load on our shoulders, but we're talking, like I said, we're in pre-production and talking about different musical ideas and production ideas and There's some new technology out there that we're going to bring, and we're gonna bring it like we always do.
Heck yes. We love you here in Albuquerque, so we are very excited to see you at the Isleta. Motley Crüe is coming to the Isleta Amphitheater next summer. Tickets are on sale now. Grab them at motley.com before they sell out. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Now, full disclosure, my girlfriend's a Cowboys fan, so I probably shouldn't be out here talking about love stories that include the Bills, but here we are. Ever wonder what happens when holiday magic and football fandom collide? There's a brand new Hallmark movie that leans all the way into Bills Mafia traditions, family, neighbors, and a love story that's been brewing since childhood. HOLLAND, RODEN, and Matthew Daddario star in Holiday Touchdown, a Bills love story. It's a sweet story set right in the shadow of Highmark Stadium. HOLLAND, Matthew, welcome to the show. How are you two?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm trying my best not to get in trouble with my girlfriend for talking about this, but I hear that it blends Christmas traditions with the world of Buffalo Bills. What excited you both about telling a love story in such a unique setting?
Well, full disclosure, I'm from Dallas, Texas, so my family are big Cowboys fans. And I have to say the heart and the community of Buffalo and Bills fandom will suck you right in, because if you have a passion for any team, you can relate to this movie. So rest assured your girlfriend can be at ease.
Yeah, you don't need to be a Bills fan. You don't even need to be a football fan to enjoy this movie. I mean, it's really about family. It's about love. It's about the holidays. And it's a sweet movie. It's funny. And I think anybody can enjoy it, even if they're not, all that obsessed with football. But if you're a fan of anything, you kind of get what it's like to be a fan of a team. So I think people who enjoy anything will enjoy this.
All right, your characters, Morgan and Gabe, they've been lifelong friends. How did you approach that, friends who might be a little bit more dynamic?
I try to approach it as naturally as possible, where it's how you act with your friends. And then there's this like twinkle. There's not like a really hard turn. It's gradual when you think, is there something like I should be seeing here that's I'm not? And so, certain family members see it, as well as potentially everybody on the Bills sees it. And that's sort of the running joke throughout the movie.
I mean, my character is a slightly different thing, because at the start of the movie, I'm not going to get into what happens at the end. You got to watch. But in the start of the movie, he knows he loves his old friend. So then the question is, okay, how is he going to be able to say that to her? How is he going to be able to reveal that? And he struggles with that throughout the film. So for him, it was about that kind of, not unrequited love. I don't know what you call it. What do you call it when you love someone that you're supposed to just be friends with, but you don't know how to tell them?
Unrequited love.
Unrequited love. Sure. Why not? So that's it's a different approach, but they're family friends. They enjoy each other's company and they get along well. So it's kind of easy. But that little extra part, well, that's tough.
All right, the Bills Mafia shows up in a really big way in this film. What was it like filming on location in Highmark Stadium and working alongside actual players and coaches?
We're here right now, and I was just telling Matt earlier before we got on interviews today, I was like, this is our last day of a NFL team just, having this casual open door to anything we want to do in this stadium. And that is not lost on us, that they've been incredibly kind and just really have treated us like family. But we're aware that's not normal. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and we got to, we had a number of players in the film who all did an excellent job. And I mean that honestly. They all got a laugh in the movie. And you caught a pass from Jim Kelly on the football field, which is pretty, I'm a little jealous because he didn't throw it to me. So, but that's, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
There's also a really touching mystery at the heart of the story, including a decades-old Christmas gift. What can you share about that emotional thread and how it ties everything together?
Joey Pantoliano, we were so lucky that he lent his vulnerability and rawness to this character, because there is a secret Santa that's 50 years old that we haven't solved, and he's getting gifts every single year. So there's a bit of a scavenger hunt amongst the romance, or will they or won't they, and the football mania, the Bills Mafia.
Yeah. And I think that it's a story. I was particularly touched by the story that your uncle, Joey plays your uncle, it's kind of a touching story that I think a lot of people can relate to. And maybe if they remember their grandparents, I don't know what I could give away, but it's he gave up a certain aspect of his life in order to take care of his family, and it's quite touching. And Joey really does an excellent job of capturing that. So it was really nice to work with him, and it was really nice to work on a film that has that kind of a meaningful storyline in it.
Hey, I want to thank you two for joining me this morning. You can catch Holiday Touchdown, a Bills love story, right now on Hallmark Channel, and it's streaming right now on Hallmark Plus. Thank you two for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You ever wonder what it takes to turn a quiet stretch of countryside into a one-of-a-kind escape? That's exactly what Matt Baumgartner did at June Farms, a 120-acre retreat in New York's Hudson Valley, where animals, weddings, and big personalities all pretty much come together. It's a setting for a new unscripted series on Prime Video, capturing the beauty, the mayhem, and the heart behind farm life. Matt joins us now from New York to share what it's really like. Welcome to the show, Matt. How are you, my friend?
Hi, Dan. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for having me.
All right, can you take us back to the beginning? How did this idea of June Farms actually come to life?
So I had been in the restaurant world my whole life, and I thought it'd be a good idea to raise beef and pork for the restaurants that I had. I bought 120 acres, bought some cows, bought some pigs, and then quickly realized, like within a year, I didn't like the harvesting of the animals, and then decided to turn the farm into a place that people can then come visit. And then we built some cabins. We started doing weddings. So the place is really it's like an agritourism farm where you just show up, you can walk around. It's a beautiful, the nature of it all is very beautiful, and the animals are really happy. It's just a feel-good property that people can come visit and again have their weddings at.
And the series that you have gives viewers a front row seat of the ups, the downs, and the day-to-day life of running a farm.
Correct.
What moment surprised you once the cameras did start rolling?
I mean, I've never been on a reality show before, so that is a lot. I guess I was most surprised by how much I'm probably speaking for the other staff members, of how much we connected with the camera crew and the production side of it. I mean, it was really unexpected. And, the day they left, there was like 50 or 75 people that walked away, and it felt like my family was leaving. We all became so close. That was really a wonderful thing that I didn't see coming. And then, I guess the other side would just be how the nerves of knowing that the world was going to see the behind the scenes of the venues side of weddings was very nerve-wracking to me. But, you can't really keep up the pretense of like trying to make everything perfect all the time. And I think viewers are really going to love that, that they see it from that side of the venue. And
you've got a team of unique personalities working alongside you.
We do.
How would you describe the chemistry on the farm?
I would say the chemistry on the farm is like a family. I mean, everyone gets along really well. They fight hard. They love hard. I think going through the challenges of trying to execute all these weddings are bonding experiences. And I think because I'll use the word difficult to work with sometimes, I think they all kind of bond in knowing that they have to all behave in a certain way to kind of do right by me and to execute these weddings in a way that we have to. We have to make these people happy. It's a lot of pressure. They've spent a lot of money on these weddings, and them leaving happy is the number one thing that I make happen.
At its core, what do you hope people take away from watching June Farms?
I hope they take away that they want to have their weddings there, that they want to come stay in the cabins there. And I hope that they see that the show really is about someone who cares about the farm and cares about the people who I work with, and that there's a lot of love there. And that I hope that they see that the challenges of trying to execute weddings are real, and that sometimes it's a perfect balance of chaos and love, and it's also a lot of fun.
I used to be a wedding DJ for many, many years, and I've seen.
Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. Yeah,
exactly.
I would say the wedding DJ, that probably makes or breaks the wedding the most. I mean, the music is like the most important, one of the most important things.
And beyond that, I always ended up being like the MC, making sure everything is flowing throughout the night. And I actually
didn't realize before having a wedding venue how much the DJ does.
Yeah.
There's a lot you guys have to do, like for dinner, like during the ceremony. A lot of times, obviously the dancing, all the requests.
Absolutely. One of my favorite lines.
It's crazy.
Whenever I'm talking to a bride and they're setting up a wedding or something, I always say, "Who is your J-Lo?" That is the question I use forever. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, the one person that I could turn to, and not talking to you, to get everything back together if need be. So who is your side? What
That's a
person? Who is your
great
J-Lo?
question.
That's the great question.
I'm gonna start using that.
You use it, please do.
Yeah.
Okay, and for anybody that wants to see more or even plan a visit, where can they go for more information?
Prime Video.
You can watch all episodes of June Farms now streaming on Prime Video. I want to thank you for joining me today, Matt.
Thank you for having me, Dan. It's been my pleasure.
They're mean, they're messy, and they're absolutely unforgettable. And now, Roald Dahl's classic villains are back with a brand new twist. The Twits. It's the hilarious animated musical on Netflix where two terrible adults try to take over their town until a group of clever kids and magical animals fight back. So joining us are Margot Martindale, who voices Mrs. Twit, and Mötley Ramakrishnan, the voice of Bisha, one of the young heroes standing up to all of this chaos. Welcome to the show, you two. How are you?
Oh, great.
Good.
Thank you.
Doing great.
Okay, Roald Dahl, his stories, they're always filled with like dark humor, but yeah, a lot of hearts. What was it like stepping into his world for the Twits?
It was a joyride, really.
Truly, a true joyride in the land of the Twitlandia amusement park. Very dark humor and obviously, like you said, emotional themes, but also a really nasty, grimy, gross and smelly backdrop for the Twits.
And Margot, Ms. Twit.
Yeah.
She's such a
about
wonderfully
it?
awful
What about
character.
her?
How did you find your take on her personality and her voice and all of that?
Just follow the leader, if you know what I mean. Phil Johnson really, he was the guide for all of us, and he's a unbelievably creative, fun-loving, crazy, wonderful man. And it was like there was no limit to what we could do. You know, to blow the top off, basically.
And Mötley, your character Bisha brings so much heart to the story. What did you love most about playing her?
I think truly the thing that I loved most was that she is so kind and is so good. And even her, she still can succumb and slip to being a little awful, just like a Twit. And the character arc that she has is so beautiful and is so just honest and real in a world that feels very absurd. So that juxtaposition is very appealing to me.
In the movie, it mixes some humor, some music, and a great message about teamwork. What do you hope families take away after watching this?
I just hope they take away the joy that we felt doing it, that we had doing it, and also the beauty of the animation is extraordinary, I think. And you hope maybe some people will be nicer to each other.
Yeah, a little kindness, a little kindness.
Little
Take away a
kindness
laugh and
goes a
cry.
long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And both of you have such diverse careers. What made the Twits stand out as something that you just definitely wanted to be part of?
Phil Johnson.
Yeah, Phil. And also Margot.
Oh.
She's sick. Come on, she's cool.
Come on.
Icon. She's an icon. Are you kidding me? Come on now.
You're crazy.
Come on
Crazy.
now. Phil and Margot.
Oh, wow. Well, that's nice.
See, you got a little bit of love there. The Twits is now streaming on Netflix. It's the perfect pick for a family movie night full of laughs, songs, and maybe a little mischief. You can check it out now at netflix.com/thetwits. Hey, I want to thank you two for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ever think about how much strength it takes for the tiniest babies to fight their way into the world? November is Prematurity Awareness Month, and it's a moment to honor those little fighters and the families and caregivers who support them every step of the way. Dr. Diana Patel is a board-certified pediatrician and mom of two, here to help us understand why caring for premature babies is so specialized that even their diapers are made with extra intention. Have a look.
Each year, more than 360,000 babies are born too soon, representing about 10.4% of all births nationwide. For families, it's an incredibly emotional journey. Caring for premature babies is incredibly specialized, and even something as simple as a diaper has to be completely reimagined. Pampers is behind every baby, even the tiniest fighters, which is why they created the world's tiniest diaper. Pampers Swaddlers size extra, extra small designed to provide care and comfort for the most vulnerable babies born prematurely, weighing less than 1.1 pounds. Pampers is the #1 choice of NICU professionals and the first brand to partner with NICUs and create a Preemie diaper. Each diaper in Pampers' Preemie collection is designed for extremely premature skin and is made with premium soft materials to help prevent abrasion of babies' underdeveloped skin. For over 25 years, Pampers has partnered with March of Dimes, a national organization dedicated to improving the health of mothers and babies. This November, during Prematurity Awareness Month, Pampers is continuing its commitment to the advancement of care for the most vulnerable babies with a donation to the March of Dimes NICU Family Support Program. This program provides education, comfort, and life-changing guidance for more than 50,000 families each year as they navigate the challenges of a newborn stay in the NICU. Visit pampers.com to learn more about how you can support preemie care with a donation to March of Dimes this month.
Have you ever caught yourself glancing at your phone while driving, even just for a second? Because the U.S. Department of Transportation says nearly a third of all crashes are caused by distracted drivers, leading to thousands of deaths and over 1 million injuries every year. Today, we are joined by John Way, Director of Customer Experience Research and Transportation and Building Research for State Farm Insurance. He's here to talk about a new approach to tackling distracted driving, one that's less about guilt and more about creating safer, mindful habits behind the wheel. Welcome, John.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate your time.
We all know distracted driving is dangerous, but why do you think so many people still do it, even with all the awareness out there?
It's such a great question, and it's an important question for society. And it's certainly one that we at State Farm are thinking actively about and are trying to better understand both what the opportunity is and then how we start leading people towards what better looks like. And honestly, we'll start here. Part of this is not really our fault, right? At least not actively. I think most of us these days, with the advancement of technology and with how we work and where we work, we kind of feel like we're connected all of the time. We at least have the opportunity to remain connected all of the time. And these connections inside work, inside our family life, while both fantastic, can also lead to significant distraction. And anymore, that kind of blurred line concept in what we do at home or on our couch and what we're able to do in the car is becoming increasingly blurry. And so it's a good time for us as a society to step back and take a little bit more intentional and focus on what being behind the wheel means to us personally, to our families, and to society. And truthfully, how we're thinking about this is wanting to talk more about driving as an opportunity and the opportunity that surrounds it, as opposed to distracted driving as an obligation or trying to limit distractions. And so look forward to talking about that a little bit this morning.
And what actually counts as distracted driving? It's more than just texting, right?
It sure is. And I think we quickly gravitate towards a cell phone, and rightly so. We've all got one. We all use them routinely. We all see our road users traveling down the road with them up in front of their faces, which most of us do not care for. But it's much more than that. It's sometimes the mundane, innocent things that we do in the car that can lead to distraction. Things like eating or talking to your passengers in the car, or like some of us putting on makeup or shaving if we're running a little bit behind on our schedule and are trying to get to work on time. And in a vacuum and individually, these are not problematic activities, but they are distractions, and they are things that take our eyes and our attention away from the roadways. And again, we know that distracted drivers are indeed dangerous drivers.
And we mentioned some big national stats. Do you have data on specific risks that really stand out to you?
We surely do. And one of them, the top line number that I think all of us should be thinking about and taking away, is that 80% of us, a full 8 in 10, readily admit to distracted driving. And that's probably not shocking, right? We're kind of joking about this off the top. We're all doing it to a degree. But the importance now is acknowledging that we're doing it and trying to figure out ways to intentionally curb some of that activity. So what are we talking about specifically when we talk about distracted driving? 45% of us manually type GPS addresses into the system while we're going down the road. Almost half of us have a tendency to scroll through music playlists, literally stare at them while we're trying to figure out what we want to listen to. The one that really gets me is that 1 in 5 of us, 20% of us essentially admit to reading or sending emails when we're behind the wheel. And, I think all of us would agree that trying to be engaged in correspondence with somebody while you're driving a car is not a particularly good idea. And perhaps a statistic that underscores that most sharply, if you look away for 2 seconds, you double your risk of getting in a vehicle accident. I'll repeat that. 2 seconds away from the road doubles your risk of getting in a crash. I think that's an important stat for our viewers and listeners to take home.
And if fear of danger doesn't motivate drivers to change, what might actually help people break the habit?
We are hopeful that talking about this in different ways, past kind of the threats or the requirements, will perhaps lead to different outcomes. Right? We're very proud of and very supportive of the good work that's going on across the country as we think about things like hands-free laws. Certainly appreciative of the messaging that many of us see on the roadways now digitally that tells us what to do or what not to do. But to your point directly, that's not netting out the benefits that we want to see as a society. And so our charge here is that we think about that distracted driving, or non-distracted driving, as it were, obligation as more of an opportunity. And it's a wellness opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to take a few minutes out of our day to put all of the chaos and the distraction and the noise and lock it outside of our car. When we get in the vehicle and shut that door and we're surrounded by silence, we're going to lean into that. And we're going to appreciate that as a moment for us to reconnect with ourselves, to disconnect from the world around us that we spend most of our day engaged in, and reconnect with ourselves. There's something powerful in that. There are precious few moments in the day in which we're able to escape the noise and the chaos in that way. And so again, the call to action is, as we're feeling that and experiencing that, trying to be intentional about carrying that through the duration of the drive. Abby, I think we have a tendency to get in the vehicle, and when we shut that door, we want to make sure then that we've got all of our creature comforts handy, that we've got the radio programmed correctly, and that we've got our cell phone propped up so that we can see the text messages come through, even if we're not going to actively do something with them. It does not have to be that way. And we can make an intentional choice and make an intentional decision when we get behind the wheel of our car to make that me time. This is about my personal space, and allow the distractions to wait.
And what's the one thing you'd like drivers to take away from this new campaign?
So here's one thing, and if nothing else sticks, Abby, it's an everyone problem. Again, 80% of us view ourselves as safely distracted drivers, and that is not okay. We know that all of us have an opportunity to be better. As a father of 2 teenagers, I'll lean in a little bit to the obligation and opportunity we have as parents to role model behavior. Again, anytime we get behind the wheel and jump into a car, we have an opportunity to make intentional decisions. And we know as parents that those little passengers behind us have been watching us for years, trying to better understand how they should act, and more specifically, how they should drive their car. As we get behind the wheel, be thinking about that. Even if they're not present in the car with you in that moment, we have opportunity to role model behaviors. Let's think about being behind the wheel as that opportunity and not an obligation. And if we do that, I think we reconnect with ourselves and help limit some of the chaos in our lives, and ultimately lead to improved outcomes on the roadways.
And where can viewers go to learn more?
Please, if you have the opportunity, visit statefarm.com. Look for our Simple Insights page, where we have much more content on not only the concept of distracted driving and some of the real world material impacts, but also opportunities for all of us to think about behaving differently.
John, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
That was our show, New Mexico Rising. You take care, and we'll see you next week.